Senator, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so explain to all of us, in your estimation, who is going to bridge this gap that we have right now? Because both sides say the other party's plan has no chance of reaching the president's desk, and the patience of the American people, as I think you're well aware, is running very thin.
Well, let me say this. The American people want a true compromise. And the good news that I bring to your viewers today is that Harry Reid's plan is that compromise. And this isn't rhetoric. Let me explain why. The Republicans said they wanted no revenues and deep cuts. Harry Reid does that. We went for a score from CBO, John Boehner's bill. That gets us $850 billion worth of cuts. The Reid plan is over $2 trillion. So deep cuts, no revenues. For the Democrats out there, we saved Medicare and Social Security. We're not reducing any benefits, and we put that off to a commission to make sure that if we do any changes, it strengthens those programs into the future. And then finally, for people who are totally fed up with this brinksmanship and holding this country hostage to some ideology, we get us past the election. We give us some time to get back to job creation and all the work we have to do. So it's right there in front of our noses. Everybody wins with the Reid plan, and I would hope that saner heads will prevail.
Senator, listen to this, because this morning Congressman Clyburn brought the president's options back to the table. Take a listen.
If that's what lands on his desk, a short-term lifting of the ceiling, the debt ceiling, he should put it on his desk next to an executive order. He should sign an executive order invoking the 14th Amendment to this issue.
Senator, do you think that's a realistic option and possibly even a better move for the president than accepting a Republican-led deal?
Well, he's not going to get the Boehner bill because it's dead on arrival in the Senate. We are not going to hold this country hostage to the Tea Party. That's where it's at. You know, those folks over there, about 80 of them, and maybe even more of those Republicans, they pledged to Grover Norquist. I want to pledge allegiance to the United States of America. And that's what we all should be doing right now. But as far as the 14th Amendment is concerned, I urge everybody to get their little Constitution and read it. It says the debts of the United States shall not be questioned. Now, I put my hand on a Bible and I swore allegiance to that Constitution. So if we don't do it, if we now question the debts of the United States of America, that the Republicans all voted for those debts when they voted for tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires and 2 wars on the credit card, a prescription drug benefit. If they don't want to stand up, if they want to make this country a deadbeat nation, this president shouldn't allow it. None of us should allow it. And I think he should seriously look at whatever options he has.
Senator, when do you think that a deal is going to come through? Because we're looming on this August 2nd deadline. We're taken up to the brink as a country. And it really is going to have an effect on all people if we go into default. Not just the way we're observed by the rest of the world, but it's really going to have effects trickling down to average Americans.
Now, I can't control what every one of my colleagues does, but I can say that every Democratic senator that I've spoken to about this says that default is not an option. That's why they're getting behind the Reid bill, even though there's lots in there that they don't like. Deep cuts in programs that they think are important. So we've shown our willingness to compromise. But I can't predict what the Tea Party is going to do now. If they back Boehner or they don't, I don't know. So I can't tell you the end game. I can only tell you that I'm striving to get this done. And I think the Republicans in the Senate who have shown a willingness to work with us, for example, the Gang of Six is one example of that, should come to the table with Harry Reid. This is a man who is, he's going to listen, and he knows how to put together an agreement. So they should come to the table and let the Senate of the United States lead us out of this. Otherwise, it's the president who's going to have to look at other options. We cannot allow this country to default, the greatest nation in the world. It's an unthinkable thought, and it would result in more debt because as interest rates go up and U.S. bonds are going to have to pay more interest. It's going to cost taxpayers more. This is ridiculous. People should grow up and understand in this world you don't get every single thing you want. You must give up something. And this is the message that I have for my Republican friends today.
Right. The sign of a good compromise is when everybody walks away a little bit disgruntled, but the project gets done. Senator Barbara Boxer, great to see you this morning. Thanks for your time.
Okay.